What's up, everybody? Welcome to Charlie's Cinematic Universe. Today I wanted to do a movie review for you guys of Top Gun Maverick. Of course, the sequel to the 1986 Top Gun. Of course, it stars Tom Cruise, Val Kilmer, Jennifer Connelly for Top Gun Maverick, as well as like a plethora of other actors. But then again, you have to understand the history of Top Gun because, again, came out in 1986. Of course, starring Tom Cruise as well. But it also had Anthony Edwards, who played his wingman, nicknamed Goose and stuff like that. And Top Gun Maverick is basically a continuance with his son, in a sense, that's supposed to have this relationship with Maverick, and his son has the nickname Rooster. So Goose, Rooster, kind of an interesting concept right there in itself. But Top Gun 1986, of course, had a plethora of actors themselves. Also had Val Kilmer, of course, if you didn't know that, as Iceman. And then, of course, you had other actors like Tom Skerritt. You had, what's his name? Something Tolkien. It's something Tolkien. He was the mean principal in Back to the Future. And there's a lot of people to even mention in this. But the thing is that the reason why I want to talk the history is because in order to understand Maverick, you have to see the first one to even understand the story and the concept behind the new one. Because again, it's a sequel. It's not a prequel or anything like that, because Top Gun in itself, 1986, is the first installment and Maverick is the second installment. And not only that, but I mean, I just gotta say that when it comes to like collecting movies and stuff like that too, of course I don't have the VHS anymore or DVD of it, but I do have this steelbook right here, and this is the Blu-ray one. I also ended up getting this. I also got it on 4K, so that's part of my collection as well. So I double dipped on that part. I'm thinking of also getting the steelbook for this, so I'll probably have like 3 of the same movie basically. And then of course I also had to get the soundtrack. What an amazing soundtrack. Amazing score in itself as well. So when you hear the songs in the movie, especially with Top Gun Maverick, they bring the soundtrack almost back to life. Of course, with new songs like the main theme song from Lady Gaga that's in there. And you know what? I gotta say that Maverick literally lives up to the hype that everybody's talking about. Because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't go in it with low expectations or high expectations. I just went in it as, you know, a moviegoer, someone who was, originally a fan of the first one, and as a fan of Tom Cruise and himself, too. And, of course, Jennifer Connelly, because you got to remember, they were both heartthrobs back in the 80s. You got Jennifer Connelly, that was in Labyrinth, of course. And then you had Tom Cruise, who was, of course, not just in Top Gun in the 80s, but he was in movies like Legend, Cocktail, and just a plethora of other movies, that came out in the 80s. And then he's done so much work, and I gotta respect Tom Cruise a lot, because just about almost all the movies he does mostly practical stunts, where it's not so CGI'd where it's all in front of a green screen kind of thing. It's literally practical, and the only thing that gets CG on it at all is like removing the strings, the wires, the cranes, and all that kind of stuff. So then that way, those are not in the movie to ruin the shot, so to speak. But it's amazing to see these stunts like in real time, because you got to remember, these are real practical effects in work when it comes to this movie, and especially all the other movies he's done. It even had the trailer to the new Mission Impossible for next year, and that one, all the Mission Impossibles all have practical action, as in they are more old school when it comes to actual action in a sense. But other films nowadays, like, just use up a lot of CGI more than actual using more practical in it. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's cool. It's fun to watch, but I still like that practical effect. And that's what I loved about Top Gun Maverick, is that when you wanted to see actual action, you're seeing action. It's not fake flying or anything like that. These people had to train for months for this movie and stuff. So, it was fun to watch. And no joke, this movie, to me, hit hard, of course, because when you're a fan of the original and, with all that nostalgia feeling, when you watch this movie, it all comes back, because everything relates to the first one. You have flashbacks, stuff that might actually make you cry a little bit, because it's one of those types of movies where it can be a tearjerker. There are definitely funny moments in the movie, no joke at all. I gotta say that I'd give it, like, I would say 5 out of 5 stars, no joke. 5 out of 5 stars. One of the best movies of today's modern movies, especially when it comes to practical effects and action stunts. You know, take it with a grain of salt, because I'm sure there are going to be many of you who probably don't agree, but I just wanted to talk about what I thought of the film, and I enjoyed the hell out of the film. I love it to death. It's a great movie, 5 out of 5. It's got its comedy, it's got its action, it's got its drama. You know, to me, it's got it all, other than, like, you know, the other stuff that's like thriller, horror, whatever, you know. Nothing like that at all. But, not gonna lie, it kind of makes me regret not signing up to the Navy and, you know, learning how to fly, you know, those, you know, jets and stuff. So, it is what it is. But anyway, if you guys could, please leave a like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications. Got my links down below if you guys want to support me in any way, whether it's following me in my social media or supporting with my Amazon wish list or my PayPal. But other than that, you guys have a good day. Stay safe. Stay tuned. Thank you.